Coming up on today's episode of the Video Marketing Toolkit. All of a sudden the corporate face shows on, they go all stiff and sort of red,
Yeah, it's like PPE on, hard hat on, like personality off.
I love seeing that in like myself and in other people. Those, I think you said it perfectly, those dots, those connections that led to one thing leads to the next thing, and it's like, it makes sense. It's like you've always been doing it, like you've been walking that path.
One, what is this business here to do? And two, how can we do that through effective marketing and how can it help? Build a reputation, not a personal brand.
Hello and welcome to the Video Marketing Toolkit, the podcast where we speak to industry experts and business owners. We deep dive into their life, their career, and dig out tips and tricks for us to use at home in our own lives and in our businesses. My name is Dan Dennis. I'm the host of the Video Marketing Toolkit, as well as being a video-first marketer. I help business owners get into video for the first time and develop it into an efficient and effective marketing strategy. So with me today, I have Chelsea Spencer. She is the founder of the marketing agency Big Reputations. She was almost sacked from her first graduate job for not following the rules. And now today, she's here to tell us about how she went from being a naughty kid at school to being a badass with a good heart, as well as how storytelling can transform our approach to marketing. Chelsea, welcome to the podcast. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. So, obviously, what an intro was there. It seems like you've got loads to go through and tell us today.
Oh, God, yeah, no, whoever wrote that intro has really stitched me up on that one.
So, for anyone at home who doesn't know exactly who you are, would you like to just introduce yourself quickly and tell us a little bit about what it is that you do?
Yeah, sure. So I am Chelsea Spencer. I am managing director and founder of a marketing agency called Big Reputation. As you said, we work with construction, manufacturing and professional services clients to basically bring personality back into their business, help them to be a lot more strategic and goal orientated with their marketing, and ultimately to help them build a big reputation and to make more money.
Brilliant. And I love that. I love the title, Big Reputation, and I love sort of what you guys are doing at the moment in the B2B space, because I think you're 100% right. Some of these personalities need bringing through into like companies like that. Sometimes it can be a little bit, it's not the thing that everyone's talking about all the time, but there's a personality there to shine through and bring forward, isn't there?
Yeah, and you know what, actually, what I really love, because like the way that I guess we integrate into our clients' teams, like we really get to know the team, so we get to know the big personalities, and they're usually stuck behind these really boring corporate brands.
Yeah.
And like, why is every construction company branded blue?
Yeah.
Literally.
Blue or like orange and greens or stuff like that. Like,
and I think, I guess like because we get to know the real people behind them. Like, there's so many times where like we don't do probably as much video as you, but like where we're asking them to like help us out on a blog and stuff, and you can almost see the switch like in them. They go from being like I don't know, Brad the operations director to like Brad the operations director, who's really corporate.
All of a sudden the corporate face shows on, they go all stiff and sort of red.
Yeah, it's like PPE on, hard hat on, like personality off.
I definitely feel that, and I think it can be a mixture of things, especially with video, because like people get so scared with videos sometimes. They fall into, okay, what do I know best? I am corporate Brad, like, but you like in doing video as well and visiting like these companies, there is so many characters and personality people who like work there. Like you always meet the person who's got like such a random story about the company, stuff like that. Like, and I love that in visiting businesses, definitely.
No, it definitely is. It's my favourite part about it, and the fact that we get to talk to all of those people from a marketing perspective, and then just like on a day-to-day perspective, like when you're walking around sites or even like in the offices and stuff, like it's almost a shame that like the facade goes up as soon as you start getting into the work, and it's like, can we just not, like, can we keep it?
Sometimes let that personality shine through. And I guess it also comes into a little bit what we're going to talk about later on with storytelling and people telling their stories and how that can help the brands. But before we get into that, I want to know a little bit about more about your story, because your intro, for example, came in quite strong there.
Yeah.
And obviously, I want to learn a little bit about where you started out and your story. So where did it all start for you? Where did your career, what was school like? How did that lead into your career?
So at school, I was I was naughty at school, but like naughty in the sense of I was silly. So like I remember once me and my friends we were in an English lesson and we were watching a film and we had science afterwards and I hated science.
Mm.
So the teacher left and you couldn't hear the bell from the room that we were in. So we put the clock back half an hour so we'd have half an hour more of like watching this film.
That's
And it
brilliant.
was just really stupid things like that like I'd get in trouble for all the time, or just like not shutting up, not listening to people, and but I think the reason that I got away with it so much was because I was really clever,
Mm.
and a lot of the time, like I remember reading in my reports, it's like Chelsea's fine while she's doing the work, but she finishes it within 15 minutes, and then she's a nightmare, and I don't know what it was, but like I just always had to be like doing stuff, like playing sports, like talking to people, and I just hated being bored at school. And
Did you like school, like overall, or was it kind of like something you do, or
I liked I like pissing about with my mates.
yeah?
And it wasn't until I really wanted to go to Leeds University and I needed 3 A's to get into the course that I wanted to do
Mm.
that I really kind of like knuckled down. Like I've got 13 GCSEs and like they're all at a pass and stuff, but like did I really try that hard? Not really. I think a lot of
Yeah.
it was just like natural ability to do well in like a testing environment.
I don't think I revised at all for my GCSEs.
No, I
I
didn't.
think maybe I had a quick flick through, but it was more of that revision time off was just time to play video games and chill out,
Yeah.
basically.
I used to play a lot of sports with like my friends and stuff. So it was like if I was outside doing things or like playing sports or like if there was something I could win, I was really into it. Like because I'm really competitive. So yeah, I think in terms of school it was just like I always had to be doing something or like I was happy if I was learning, but like yeah, I was a bit silly and naughty.
Well, not everyone's people take school in very different ways, right? Like some people kind of like yourself, they do the work. Maybe you weren't being challenged enough, so I guess that's why you're
Yeah.
just running with it. But then some people just refuse to do the work anyway because they don't like the environment. So, and it is kind of a weird setup in that like we are so different as people, right? But it's like
Yeah.
we're all forced into this box of school, aren't we? Really? So,
I think it's that. I think like I was really lucky actually in terms of like our school. So I have like a media A level and we got to go out and like film things and I think like my teachers saw something in me where it was like if there's anything that needs filming or if we need to create a story for something, like Chelsea will do it. So I used to spend a lot of the time that I wasn't playing sports just like wandering around with like not even me having the camera, like other people having the camera and me directing it with my clipboard being like I think we should get a shot of this because it looks really artistic.
full director mode.
Yeah, really great at telling people what to do.
No, I rate that, and I think it's good that your school had those facilities and they give you the opportunity to do that as well.
Yeah, for a state school, definitely. Like they had great sporting facilities. They had like a theatre studio. It was really like it was a lovely school in the sense it was all the stuff that I was really interested in. And I think my mum and dad did me a solid by sending me to that one because I was out of catchment for it. So they had to really fight to get me into it.
So, what was your favourite subjects at school then? Would you say?
Aside from sports, I would say English literature, English language, history, media. And theatre as well, but like I'm not a theatre kid. Like I'm actually quite shy.
Like I used to be in school. I was well shy. I was like so shy, didn't come out on a cell at all. But then I used to like quite enjoy drama, and I used to get like all right marks. So that was like I never really saw it as. I saw it as a muck around, which it kind of
Yeah.
really was in GCSE level, to be fair. But history, yeah, I also loved history. Always loved that. But I never really got the opportunity to be that much creative. In fact, I was going to be a plumber. I wanted to go and
Oh
do
wow,
construction.
okay.
And I went and did, do you know when you pick your GCSE, you have to pick we had to pick like three or something like that. And I put down construction, which takes up two, and then history. And then they didn't let me do construction. They were like, you need to do something more academic. I was like, but I want to do construction.
Aw.
And they were like, so then I ended up picking two different things. But then I'm kind of glad because I think I would be on a totally different path
Yeah.
than what I would be today. But it's just like moments like that where you look back and you think that was like a proper fork in the road situation right
Yeah.
there.
That's a shame though, actually, because I know obviously we work a lot with construction industries and they're going through such a skills shortage at the moment, and it's almost like sad that maybe like it's not seen as the academic path when actually like we really need those workers.
Yeah, though which is actually which is crazy because you think how many other schools in the country were doing that then at the same time.
Yeah.
We're almost being like, no, you shouldn't do that because my other friend in sixth form, they weren't going to put him in one of the A level things because he wasn't perform. It was like either his attendance or he wasn't performing as well. But they weren't even going to give him the chance to sit the exam because they didn't want the school's gradings to look worse overall because
Oh,
of
I
him.
hate bureaucracy like
And I
that.
was just like, and he kicked off about it and stood by it, and a few of the teachers stood up for him, and eventually he sat it and he passed. And it was like that was like such another moment where it was like, yeah, red tape and bureaucracy, and like was trying to control our lives basically.
Yeah, it is actually mad though, isn't it, when you think back and it's like all of these things, I guess, that like maybe kind of like shape your like future life. I
Mm.
guess like so my job when I was at university, I studied English literature at university. That was my first degree. And I did get into Leeds as well, so I was happy about that.
Awesome.
But my university job that I did was at Alton Towers, and it was during the Smiler crash. So like I
Oh
literally
wow.
started that job, and it was like then the crash obviously like happened, and actually no, I was recruited off the back of the Smiler crash happening because they were just inundated with the amount of comms that they had to get through.
Mm.
So I just rocked up this like little fresh faced 19-year-old, probably just given the job because I knew how to write well and I could deal with like writing like emails en masse. And
It's like put her in, put her in there.
yeah, and on the like first like week that I was there, had people ringing up and swearing at us down the phone, and we were given like press briefings on like this is how you talk to the press. If people ring up and like pretending that they're a customer or someone and they're asking these questions, it's
Wow,
probably
quite
the
intense
press.
then, quite
It
intense
was a
time.
really intense time. To have that as your first kind of like proper job, because it was like my first ever office job. Then they stuck me on reception for a while to man reception, like for this massive multinational company. And I remember once actually, the post came and I just messed up everyone's post and put it in the wrong pigeonholes. And they were like, oh, okay, we'll put you back on emails. And then I ended up managing like the social media accounts and stuff for them and like replying to people. And I guess that was my first like fall into marketing, really. I
Mm.
never wanted to be a marketer, I wanted to be a lawyer.
Oh wow, so completely different like
Yeah. But
role
I
there.
also think I didn't know this job existed. Like you're not like you wouldn't know, I don't think, especially like 10 years ago, to think like I could make a job out of social media. It wasn't really a thing back then.
No, it was definitely sort of when I was getting even looking around, yeah, it's not something that was even on my radar. You had the,
Yeah.
YouTube stars, or you had like, your your Facebook famous people,
Yeah.
but you never really had like businesses weren't really utilizing social media that much, was it? Right? It was about like Farmville and Facebook and things like that, and
Farmville is
yeah,
such
and
a
talking with your
throwback.
mates. But yeah, you're 100% right, and it seems like as the job that they put you in, you were doing a little bit of everything, right? So you had that
Yeah.
exposure across the board, really.
Yeah, so that was like it was a really nice job, and it was a really nice team of people as well. Like the culture of that team, despite it being a really intense job and like maybe a not nice, it wasn't a not nice environment. It was just like you were dealing with a lot of angry people
Hmm.
that obviously had thoughts and feelings and opinions about this really tragic thing that had occurred, and we were the front line of those comms,
Yeah,
so it felt a bit heavy at times.
yeah, definitely. And
Um,
we did you say you were at uni during this time, or
It
you
was
come
I was at
finished
uni,
uni?
so I was only 19. I was literally like it was the summer that I came home after my first year of uni, because all of my other friends who I was living with went home for the summer, and
Hmm.
I didn't want to be the only one in Leeds, so I quit my like waitressing job in Leeds, and my mum was like, "You can come home for the summer, but you need to work." So I applied for it and I got it.
So like, right, back to work.
Yeah.
No summer for me.
Pretty
Yeah.
much, yeah. But to be honest, like I've always enjoyed working and I really like money. So like it was just one of those where it was like, well, I'll go there, I don't know, piss about for the summer because like it can't be that hard, can it? Like
Hmm.
newsflash, it was really, really hard.
I can
And
imagine it, yeah, especially during that time. Really intense.
yeah.
Um, like even things like dealing with the press. Like I wouldn't even know how to do that now. Never mind of like my first sort of office job
It
and
wasn't
like
even like
negotiating phones like that.
it wasn't even like the nice press because like we don't do PR at Big Rep, so like we don't really kind of like have to do the whole like selling stories into like journalists and that side of stuff. It was more like journalists ringing us up pretending to be customers trying to catch us out
Literally
to see
trying to
if we'd
catch you
say
out.
something wrong. And like as a like probably quite a naive 19-year-old as well because like I do approach life where like I want to believe in like I want to believe the best in everyone. You don't always think to be skeptical over those
Yeah,
things.
definitely. Like you almost think like if I'm in a working environment, this is my safety net, right? This company is going to make sure that I'm
Yeah.
okay, so nothing's going to hurt me. When actually you can get caught out by these people and things like that. Crazy time. So obviously going back to your naughty to nice arc, were you still a little bit of a rebel in uni? Like, were you paying? Like, how did you find uni? Was it easy for you, or were you enjoying it?
You know, I really did enjoy it. Like I think the thing is like I just like do my own thing, so I still worked quite a lot when I was at uni. I studied English literature, so I was barely in at all. Like it was
Hmm.
basically paying like I don't know 9 grand a year to join a really expensive book club, and I had to buy the books myself. Like that's
There's the
how I
catch.
describe it. Yeah, and then you'd show up to like your seminars or like your lectures and stuff, and like you'd debate these books, and like a lot of the people that like went to my university were from down south. They'd gone to very privileged like schools and upbringings, and I always felt a bit like out of place in some of my lessons.
Hmm.
But luckily, I had some incredible friends who I ended up living with in like second and third year, and they were like also northerners as well, from like near Liverpool, like some from like kind of Manchester. Obviously we were in Leeds, and we just kind of like found our own little clique.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was really nice. I'd say like I did grow up quite a lot at university, and I kind of like learned to, I guess if I want something done, like you have to do it yourself. There were a few elective modules where like I had to do group tasks with people, and I ended up kicking them out of my group because I was like, I'm not carrying you. So
You were doing the hiring and firing from the get go.
I
That's it.
genuinely was,
You were like,
yeah.
this is it. You're out. You're not cutting for my group, my peer group.
But yeah, I think it like I don't know. I just really enjoyed my time there, but like it was never as intense as school, and I think
Yeah.
like school was very much like if you don't go to university, you'll never amount to anything. And then because of the university that I was like lucky enough to get into, it was very much like this is how I imagine private schools to be like, oh well, you've been to the University of Leeds now, you'll be set for life.
Mm.
Like you'll walk into any job that you want, and like plot twist, no one's ever asked me about my degree.
It's
If
never the
anything,
case.
the first thing they ask me about is, oh, so you worked at Alton Towers in 2015, isn't that the year of the Smiler crash? I'm like, yes it is, let me tell you.
That's what they go straight for on the CV. Just everything else gets taken,
Yeah,
disregarded.
genuinely, if I had to apply for another job now, I bet like no one had even asked me about running my own business for 2 years. It would be, what was it like working there during the Smiler
That's
crash?
crazy. I think it's the case though. Like even walking into some interviews,
Yeah.
something that I've realised is, the person doing the interview or the HR department, they're just another person. They're not this like magical, like above being that's gonna
Yeah.
like that knows right from wrong from hiring. It's like they're just another person that's gonna get things wrong and ask like the silly questions like that as
Yeah.
well. Do you know what I mean? For a while, like being naive, you just think that people in that position of authority tend to, they're going to look out for you, but often they ask the wrong questions and they aren't that great
Yeah.
after all.
Sometimes I think like I don't know, and I don't know like I don't really know why this is the case, but like I've never. I think one of the reasons why I was probably quite naughty at school is like I don't see like hierarchy and authority in the way that like maybe a lot of people do.
Mm.
Like I just see them as people. So like for me to I don't know, like if someone really wound me up, like I'd happily tell a teacher to fuck off. Because
Say it
like
how it is.
yeah, if they were being like really bang out of order, like you just tell them that they're being bang out of order.
Mm.
And I think like it's the same with like bosses and stuff. Like, obviously, I'm now much better at regulating my emotions and I don't go around telling people to piss off. But at the same time, like, if I'm not happy with like the way that someone spoke to me or like the way that someone's made me feel, I'd articulate that. And I think like a lot of people in power positions shouldn't be in power positions because they abuse those positions.
Definitely.
And that's, I think, one of the reasons why like I probably don't do very well working for other people if they're more interested in their ego than actually getting results that they want.
Like for me, it was kind of like a flip side. Which for me, like growing up, I was very good in every situation I had to do because I was always scared to do anything wrong. But then it's almost like, and then I learned during uni though, that's when I developed where I was like, you know what, people are just normal. People aren't on this higher plane and always better than me. It's like I've just been the scared child and now I've got my own sort of freedom. I've developed those skills, which is interesting of how it does that because like apart from that, uni probably wasn't that great for anything else. It was more of the experience and the self-development rather than actually sort of like the education I found, because most of the stuff I could use on my course, media production, I could probably find out how to do it on YouTube or just Google how to work something. But yeah, I think uni is great for that like self-development side of things, like more than anything.
I think one of the things it probably learned me was like patience with other people, because like you're literally lumped into a house share with people that you've never met before that like have completely different ways of doing things than you've ever done them. And like just like the whole, I remember once coming home and like one of my flatmates had left like a half cooked raw, like half eaten, like not half eaten, basically like they'd prepared half of a chicken and like the other chicken breast was like left
Just sat on the side.
And I was like, what the actual fuck? Like, do you think that's okay? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, I don't even know what to come back to that because I don't know how you can think that's okay.
Because that's it as well. Like people have been obviously brought up completely different, and it's like you just shove all of these like teenagers still together in a room, and then like right, grow. It's like now develop, and you get people like that. Because very similar situation, defrosting a chicken breast, but just in a bowl on the side, and it was defrosting for about 7 days. So we just had this half chicken breast sat on a bowl, like rotting away. Basically, it was horrible.
I think it's really funny though because like we did have like so many tiffs like that in our uni like environment, but we're all still really good friends. Like I know that if I was really in trouble, I could ring any of those people up and like they'd literally have my back.
That's awesome.
I think it's you learn to appreciate people for like who they actually are instead of like, I guess, the idea that you create of them in your head. And
definitely.
It's nice. Like I graduated from uni maybe 8 years ago now, and we're still friends. We still go on holiday together, like, and I think it's just really nice. None of them own their own business. Most of my friends are teachers.
Oh wow.
Which is really like insane actually in terms of that arc that we all studied English and similar subjects and I'm in this world and they're in that world. And whenever we meet up, it's like, your life looks so interesting, but what do you do?
Like, where do I begin?
It's like, I don't actually know what I do. Every day's different.
No, it's pretty similar to me as well, because I met loads of my close friends from uni, and we're still very much in touch now. But they're all, because we all did media production, they're all quite creative, but in their own ways. So I just love getting in touch with them now, seeing what they're doing and like creating stuff together. Like I have a friend called Lizzie, and she works for a company in Leeds actually. She's from Hull. And they have like an open day where it's like this robot arm that records things, you know, like the Glambot. They do something like that, and I'm just like, I can just go up and visit her, and it's like still keeping in touch. So it is really cool, the relationships that you develop in uni and things like that. Very different to the relationships that you have when you are at school and things like that. 100%.
Yeah. And weirdly, actually, I'm still like, I'm quite good with like making and keeping friends. I'm kind of one of those people where like you're probably like, it's hard to become a friend, but once you're in, unless you do something really bad.
Yeah. You're like, then you're in.
Yeah.
Don't fuck it up.
Pretty much. But yeah, I've still got loads of friends from school. Like some of my friends from school have got like really cool jobs. Like one's just got one at Co-op Live, and like it's great for her because like she loves music. And it's like, I just love it when you see people like, like literally in their element, and they're doing things that they find really interesting. And you can kind of then see like the threads, because like she played guitar when we were at school, like and I played guitar and we played guitar together. And now like she used to go to all of like kind of her favorite pop stars gigs, and now she gets to like work in an environment that's like actually conducive to something that like I've known this person from the age of 10, and they've really always enjoyed that, and it's just so cool to see.
Yeah, I love seeing that in like myself and in other people. Those, I think
Yeah.
you said it perfectly. Those dots, those connections that led to one thing leads to the next thing, and it's like it makes sense. It's like you've always been doing it. Like you've been
Yeah.
walking that path, which I think is really cool. So we're at uni. We've just finished uni now. We've just graduated English. You want to become a lawyer still, or what's that? What's the next steps?
I did, but then like I finished university, did a 3 month internship in a law firm, didn't actually enjoy it. I enjoyed going out and seeing clients and just chatting to people, and like I guess feeling like this sounds really stupid, but like one of the things that really got me was no one ever wants to see their lawyer.
Yeah.
Whereas like I don't know what it is, like I don't know what it's in me, but like I want to feel like I'm wanted, or at least people are excited to see me. Like no one ever wants to feel like a burden or anything. Like, you know, when your friends are busy and stuff, and it's like, you don't want to feel like you're pestering them to hang out with you. I just felt like being a lawyer would be a bit like that. Like, oh, I can't wait, I have to go see the lawyer
Like
today.
now I've got to go and do this, or now there's this problem.
Yeah, like,
Was it a specific kind of law you was looking into, like,
I wasn't
or
really fussed in that sense. Like, I think like property law always kind of like stood out to me the most, because like I do quite like enjoy, like I enjoy that side of things. And I think obviously as big reputation grows and I don't need to be so in it, and it kind of distributes some wealth, I would like some like commercial property investments and stuff.
Yeah.
So I've always been into that side of stuff, and that would probably be the arm that went down it. And also it felt a bit safer than being like a divorce lawyer and then having to be kind of like a de facto therapist as well, because
Yeah.
that would not have suited my personality type.
Because this is something that I fairly new to a world, really, because one of my clients is a law firm, and obviously
Okay.
we're doing videos with them at the moment, all the different kind of sectors of law, and then you get into all the different subsections and
Yeah.
the needs of their clients. So going back to sort of what you said about no one wants to speak to the lawyer, yeah, if you get maybe a divorce lawyer, it's these very difficult family situations to navigate, whereas like a property lawyer, I guess, is a lot more, people could be excited about buying a new property and things like that, but
Potentially, we've had some clients in that sector though, and I feel like they get they get the bad end of the stick a lot of the time, because like the housing framework in this country is just like it is just broken, and things can take a very long time, and they're just there trying to obviously do their job and make sure that that investment is a sound investment, and like in the eyes of the law nothing could go wrong and make it a defunct sale or purchase. So like I imagine that takes time. It's a very archaic system that it's based off, and it's not really moved with the times.
yeah,
So
quite outdated and
yeah, and a lot of things can go wrong. And then obviously the longer the time spans, people can get cold feet, people might lose jobs, like people might end up pregnant and like then decide that they don't want to move and have all of that stress. So they end up like not wanting to make a sale at that time. Or I don't know, with the government we've got now, interest rates have gone up, stamp duty changes have been brought into
things
a place.
change and
Yeah, things can
yeah.
go wrong, and then like ultimately sales don't get made. And I think they get a lot of the blame for that, when actually they're just dealing with a really like horrible set of circumstances that they actually can't control.
Yeah, kind of like I feel like sometimes that with marketing as well, especially with social media.
Yes.
These things have changed again. It's like it's out of our hands. But yeah, I definitely get what you mean. Like it's such a volatile market. People are often
Yeah.
really, the thing that you don't get with social media is that no one's like, people don't get as stressed, I guess, with the houses, buying the houses and things like that, because people live in these places and it's a huge amount of money. So yeah, I guess it can be quite a toxic whirlpool of different things, really, can't it?
Yeah, and I think it's just one of those where like the amount of like people in those communication chains is it's insane.
Yeah, I've not bought my own house yet, but it's going to happen there one day. So I'm not looking forward to when I have to deal with
Brace
all of
yourself.
that, but I'm going to be ready for it. So law, it's not for you. You're not
No.
feeling it. What was? I'm going to move on to the
Okay.
elephant in the room, which is the why did you almost get nearly fired? So what was your first graduate job?
I worked in recruitment and they had really high phone targets. So I think we had to spend like 200 minutes on the phone every day. But like actually on the phone having a conversation with people, not like, hi, is Dan there? No, he's not in today. Okay, bye.
Oh, so it's not calls. It's literally like
200
on clocks, like
yeah, like
minutes.
actual kind of like
Okay.
decentish conversations. And obviously like in terms of your conversion rates, like you might ring and then 1 in 10 will pick up and then 1 in 25 of those might actually have a conversation with you. So it was like, I felt like my right bicep really grew.
You had to swap
was
over
really
halfway
toned.
through.
And it was like you were kind of reliant upon the database of businesses around because like you also didn't really have the time to like kind of build your own database out. And at the time I was like playing around on LinkedIn because I had a boyfriend at the time who was studying business and he was like, have you heard of this thing called LinkedIn? And I was like, no, not really. Like he was like, well, it's like socially acceptable to have it work. And at the time I realised like, well, if I have LinkedIn open, I can talk to my boyfriend all day.
You can just DM each other on LinkedIn. This is great.
So, yeah, and I ended up like kind of playing around with it because of the amount of times that you put on hold and like you've got the hold music there and you're just like
Yeah.
playing around on like LinkedIn and like I guess you know what, I approached it like it was Facebook at first. I used to just give people random updates around what I was doing in Leeds, and I guess in a way like 10 years ago this wasn't really like personal branding wasn't a thing. I was literally just like a 21-year-old chatting shit on LinkedIn. And I ended up like just connecting with random people. And then I'd see like news stories about something and I'd be like, oh, that person talked to me about this on the phone the other day. And I'd send it to them. And at the time I didn't realise I was nurturing leads or whatever. I just thought I was making friends with
You were literally just like, oh, this is what you were talking about,
Yeah.
and just sending it over. Yeah.
And I remember in one of my things, like, because I used to have a one-to-one every Friday with my manager, he was like, you never hit your phone targets. He was like, if you don't start, like, making an effort, like, if you don't start hitting your target, like, we're not going to keep you around. And actually, what they didn't realise, and also kind of naively what I didn't realise at the time, was I was making so many nice connections and, like, building a name for myself within the industry, I guess, that I was working in, that within 6 months, I was the first person to actually, 1, hit my target, and 2, earn commission as a graduate in that company.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, they wanted to fire me for not hitting my phone targets, but, like, I was bringing leads into me, and then people were approaching me to give me jobs. And in the end, I ended up still leaving because I moved away from Leeds and came back home. But, like, it was kind of one of those where it was like, when I moved back home to Staffordshire, it was like, what do I want to do now? And it was like, well, I don't want to work in recruitment because I never want to work in another company that like threatens to sack me because I'm just not doing something that's in their way, but like their way is fundamentally broke. Like,
they didn't give you the chance to explore your new way of doing it. I mean, you may not have known exactly what you was doing at the time, but it was something was still working, right? The conversions were eventually happening, even
I was
though you weren't getting the
genuinely just
minutes.
posting on LinkedIn around like kind of, I'd put the odd one out there, like, just spoke to this incredible candidate, 5 years experience in this, like, hit me up if you want some details.
Who wants
Probably
it?
a bit
Or who
more
wants that?
professional,
Yeah.
but like it was kind of the tune. But then the rest of it was like trying this new coffee place in Leeds, or like you know, just kind of things that like a 21-year-old like. I know.
Like you said, treating it like Facebook, just posting whatever, making content, just putting it out there.
Yeah, and a lot of like it's really weird actually because like a lot of the stuff that I was doing, like I actually would probably still do now on LinkedIn, maybe in a bit more of a polished tone, but like, and I wouldn't put on that I'm going to like nightclubs and stuff anymore.
Who's out this Friday? Hit me up or something like that.
You know what? I
Who's
think I
going out?
probably did put something like that on there once. But,
I mean, that's it though, isn't it? It is just you've got to put content out there. Like I was having a conversation before, like we was recording, obviously about some of the gurus and some of the scaremongering that goes on about what you should post, what you shouldn't post, when you should post. But ultimately, you've just got to post to get something out, right? Like,
yeah. And I think as well, like, I guess coming back to authenticity and stuff, like, one of the things that I hate, like, I actually hate the term personal branding. Like, I think it's so disingenuous and it's almost like the opposite of authenticity because, like, your brand is literally just your reputation. So I think instead of like trying to cultivate this like polished perception of something, so many people are like going out there and creating these like perceptions of I'm this expert in this. But then when you actually look into it, they've got no case studies to show that they've done anything. All of their thought leadership is just like rehashed versions of like, I don't know, TikToks or something that they've watched. And like there's no like proof of concept. Whereas, like, I'd rather be a little less polished, but, like, look at all these amazing case studies we have. Like, if you ask me any question on anything that we do, I can give you my real opinion and I wouldn't need to go and watch TikTok first on it.
you've got the evidence to back it up.
Yeah.
You're not just pulling it out of like thin air or something like
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
and I think like one of the reasons we call the business Big Reputation is if so many people just focused on building a reputation, you can sell anything. Like, I could close Big Reputation down in 5 years and start another business doing anything, and people will by then hopefully know that anything I do to a really high standard, that they'd want to trust me and buy from me. Like, it's kind of that where it's like, if you do what you say you're going to do and you treat people in like a really fair and honest way, you communicate directly, and you never try and bamboozle people, like, that's a really good reputation to have. Whereas like if you're a pushy salesperson who's trying to like be disingenuous and like come across as an expert when you're not actually an expert, what are you going to do when it crumbles? Like, and I think it comes down to a lot of people want to be seen to be a business owner and to have the perks of being a business owner or a founder or an entrepreneur or whatever, I don't know, adjective you want to put in there. But they don't want the reality of it. And the reality is it's really tough.
and I guess that is sort of, in a way, it all ties together because, like what you say about the personal brand and not liking that word, and the guru side of thing, and then people just making outlandish comments, and it is almost like social media, in people trying to produce something, social media has then created a new version of people that is just, it's just hot air. It's like they don't want to put the effort in, they want all of the stuff out of it, and it's just made it harder for the rest of us because now it's almost it's too scary to get involved, and it's just like it's created a bit of a feedback loop, really, hasn't it?
It is. And you know what? I think AI has added an entire new dimension to this. And like a few years ago, like not with Big Reputation, but when I was working at a different business, we were working with this company where it was like around quite sensitive topics, like around like death and like mental health and abuse. And the person who was like founding the company was very much like, oh, we'll just get AI to write all the blogs, we'll have an AI chatbot. I'm like, you're talking to people like about death,
Yeah.
like and these really like hard hitting topics, and you want to outsource that like human connection and put a robot in place.
It's gonna fall very flat, isn't it?
Yeah, and you know what, actually I saw it was in the news the other week about that sad story about the lad who took his own life after having that kind of like therapist style conversation with ChatGPT. And ever since then I've been thinking about that, like, oh, like I can't believe that almost like we were a part of something that was doing something very similar.
Yeah.
And it just I don't know, I had a sleepless night that night under that realisation.
I saw that story as well. It is a very sad story, and it's like it's difficult because the AI, you're right, these AIs are not human, right? Yeah. They're just making assumptions based off data of what's already out there.
Yeah.
And people can take it very literally. People think it's like it's going to save us loads of time and money and whatever, but how much are you hurting your personal brand or your reputation
Yeah.
by doing things like that, like making those shortcuts. Like people do start to notice as well. And obviously something that AI is, I've noticed in terms of like video, and the fact that it just takes things from other people, is that it can't do is storytelling. And a really good way to improve your reputation, improve your personal brand, and sort of grow yourself is telling your own story. So how did you take your story, sort of that what you've just told us today, and how did you incorporate that into when you were first setting up big what's the
Big
word?
reputation. That
I was
business.
such a good bit then as well, and then I just messed it up right at the end.
It's okay, we can keep it in for authenticity.
How did you take your story and bring it across to big reputation when you first got going?
Oh, you know what? I am quite public about building big reputation, and I would say, like, again, probably from like my recruitment days, I've always posted just like absolute shit on LinkedIn, and it's usually around like what I find interesting at the moment, and I am genuinely very passionate about this market and this industry. I have a lot of opinions on it, which I'm happy to share, and I just I am quite just open in terms of sharing. So I kind of feel like, in a weird way, I've never shaped the arc of our story of big reputation. If anything, it's probably something that like I'm asked to do maybe a bit more now because of the, I guess, like the events and stuff that we're being brought into and doing more stuff like this. I'm asked to give an overview of it, so it's something relatively new. But what I would say is I've got a lot of people who, especially on LinkedIn, have been following me for ages, and they've almost seen the story unfold in real time, and they almost feel like they're a part of it, and which is lovely because it's like, I don't know, it's a bit like, in a weirdly like kind of way diluted way, and obviously not as sexy in the industry. It's a bit like Grace Beverley and Tala. Like, I grew up watching her on YouTube, and now it's like she has all these different like businesses.
She got married recently as well.
She has, yeah, and like the videography on that looked stunning.
I saw that yesterday actually.
But it's kind of probably a bit like that. Like people I guess in that space have just almost followed my career, and like they've seen it. And I think if you can put me into a room, or like people read our content that we create or watch content, they can see that I'm genuinely passionate about it. And sometimes I think it's the emotion, maybe not the story, that I guess drives those viewers and people who are interested.
And it's so much things that factor into it, and it, like you say, it's emotion, isn't it?
Yeah.
People like the emotion behind the story. They want things to add up right, and when you sort of tell a story well, it all falls into place. It's kind of like caveman times, right? Everyone's sat around the
Yeah.
fire. I saw this deer. I went to run after the deer, and then a saber-tooth tiger came here. Like, it engages people, and so just by telling our versions of those events, obviously with less dinosaurs and saber-tooth tigers and business-related stuff, people get hooked in and want to know the next steps and what were the emotions and feelings behind it. So I think it is such a really powerful way of selling yourself to other people, really.
I think it is, and obviously, like, in terms of, like, I'm an English graduate, like, I know the frameworks of how to do a good story, like, I know all the really technical terms, like, here's an anagnorisis, and...
What's one of those?
It's like a moment of clarity that your protagonist gets.
Oh, okay.
So, like, you know, like, kind of when you're on that, like, arc in terms of, like, the peak,
Yeah.
and it's, like, struggle, 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 and then you have that moment of, like, anagnorisis where it's almost like, wow. Like,
I figured it out.
yeah.
I thought so. Okay.
And then like things start like going really well then. Like, so I get all of the concepts and stuff, but I also think, you know what, like if you're just honest with people and like you communicate clearly anyway, you don't need to orchestrate these. Like, I run a marketing business. My actual goal is to make my clients more money, or to launch products effectively, or to communicate change in a really cohesive and clear way. I'm not out here making blockbuster movies. I don't need to emotionally manipulate people. A lot of the time is like, a lot of the work that we actually do is just influencing people and maybe making them see things in a clearer way. Or like the construction industry, for example, faces a lot of difficulties in their supply chain and like the pressures that are put on it. It's like, okay, well, how can we work together effectively to do that? To do that, you don't need to manipulate emotion. You need to create this safe space where people don't see these people as competitors anymore. They see them as part of the same supply network, and how can we get everyone on board?
Okay.
And I think, and again, it is telling the stories, and it's like, well, how do we bring people along together with us on those stories?
And it's, I think, so just going back to the construction bit, because I think that will make a really good example of how you sort of tell their story. And obviously, if you don't mind sharing this, if I'm not sure if
Yeah.
this is one of your clients, you're talking specifically or generally, but so how would you sort of tell that story of ensuring the suppliers being comfortable with each other?
So to be fair, I'd say it's an industry-wide issue, but like I can give you one with one of our clients. So they they provide like manufactured product into like large staircase manufacturers, who then sell it to like the major national house builders. It might be smaller development areas, and they have a lot of issues around, we need to make 300,000 houses a year. These are the targets. We're nowhere near hitting those targets, by the way. And it's not one person in that change can make the difference. So, like, not one person is going to create an innovation, then all of a sudden 300 houses are built. The manufacturers need to actually make changes in the way that they sell their product and maybe even set their factories out. The major house builders need to drastically make changes in the way that they're actually going to, one, buy product, and two, police product that it's bought when the site manager's out on site to make sure that it's fit well. Like, our client can make sure that the components are made in a different way or like to a certain spec. Like, it requires a degree of communication that makes it easier for everyone, instead of like, oh, well, that's the only product that I can buy. Or like, these are telling me that they want it for a 10%, like they want a 10% saving next time, so I need to buy it cheaper from you.
Yeah.
And then they end up running an entire industry into a ground that's already struggling. So that's one example of like how actually marketing isn't just about, I guess, like telling these stories. It's about how do we bring people together to collaborate so that an entire industry can be stronger on the back of it.
Which is like, sounds like a huge task.
Yeah, but those are the clients that we love working with, because
Yeah.
like they have the passion, the energy. I feel like that bloody meme now. It's like more passion,
More energy. More houses.
Yeah, maybe that can be the tagline.
That's it right there.
But I think it's like they're the type of people that we love working with, because like so many people, like, did you see that report where it was like England is the second most depressed country?
I haven't, but I can believe it.
Yeah, well, there was one out in the news a couple of weeks ago, and like so many people that you talk to are just like, they're like Eeyore off Winnie the Pooh. They're just like kind of like moping around and stuff, and like life's too short. Like, I guess coming back to like being like with like not wanting to be a lawyer, I love that our clients are really excited to see us. I'm like, oh yeah, the marketing team's here. And it's nice to feel like wanted in that way, and like you can inspire people to do a good job.
I think it is as well. It's like you either, especially with video, you either get, oh great, yeah, Dan's here to do the video, we're on it, or you get, oh god, Dan's here, what's he going to make me do this week? So it can really go either or. But I think it is important that you work those stories, like you say, in that way to make change, whether it's within the company itself or whether it's the task of a full industry sort of wide mission.
I think it is, but I think it comes down to what are your marketing goals, and having a very clear idea on like what is this business here to do, and two, how can we do that through effective marketing, and how can it help?
So once someone's identified the goals, someone knows what they want to do in their business, how could someone start to use storytelling to get to reach those goals?
So I guess in terms of like how we'd help clients do that, like we'd get to know what their goals are, and then we'd come up with like, okay, who's the decision maker that we need to convince to like buy your service or product to save that? What pain points do they have? What's your specific value proposition, and how do you solve those pain points or problems? Or like, even if it's not solving a pain point or a problem, it's like it might be a inspirational piece, like how do you basically what's the call to action and how do you make them buy? Once you've got all of that, I guess, like brand strategy sorted and the storytelling piece, okay, or what platforms are these people on? What messages can we kind of like pull out of those propositions and that we've created to try and drive that action to get them out there? Is your website, like, does that tell an effective story? Does it prompt people to want to buy? Is it cohesive across all of your marketing materials? Is there anything, I don't know, newsworthy that like you can jump on the back of, that like you can kind of attach your story to? We work with some incredible PR partners that are really great at doing that for our clients. Like, we sort, I guess, like the marketing and the brand strategy arm of it, they can then amplify that through other means. Video as well. Like, we work with some incredible people who can capture that visually in a way that like I personally can't.
And it is like an ongoing effort, right? It's not a case of you put on one piece of content, one bit on the website, and go, right, that's my story, we're done.
No.
Or you don't just make a my story section of the website and sit back and relax. It is like an ongoing thing, isn't it?
Yeah, you know what, as well, like, you need to get really comfortable with repeating yourself.
I feel that's something definitely I've had to get used to as well, because sometimes I'll sit there and I was like, I don't know what to write, and I'm like, I've written about that, but I bet only a quarter of my audience have even seen like that original post.
And it is like, and a lot of people don't even pick up on patterns. So like, they've probably heard the same thing 7 times, and like, it might just be the way you've explained it in that instance finally clicked with someone. And the 6-7 times they've heard it before, like, it just kind of fell upon deaf ears because like maybe you didn't quite use the right language in your pain point that really got them.
And like, it is like, yeah, it is that ongoing, and it's like using that, finding that one particular moment that strikes that chord with that person. Like, people who I think are really good at storytelling is TikTok. People on TikTok who have really good storytelling, because whether it's something like someone going, I'm trying the best burgers in the UK, this is number 56, which is a very obvious way of storytelling because it's giving that like what number I am in the UK. And then there's people who literally just random creators who have like the most unique life. They can put that content out there, but then people still come back to just what's going to happen to this person next. Like, they're not professionals, but they've managed to tell their story in a way that just resonates with so many people.
Yeah, you know what, actually, when you were saying that, there's one person I was thinking of, and her at is like, I'm the problem. And she's a woman, and she could literally tell me a story about like paint drying on a wall, and the way that she edits it, and like, there's just some certain like camera tricks, and like the way that she kind of like she doesn't have a monotone voice. It's really like melodic in the way that she tells it. Like, it's captivating, and it's like not even, I guess, the content of the story. It's like the way that it's pulled together, which just is mesmerizing.
And it is almost like the what's going to happen next, right? It's like, okay, I've caught up with this lady. I've watched her, like some creators that I've watched since I was literally over 10 years, like literally like so long. And it's like, what is going to happen next? It's almost like people nowadays tune into people's lives as much as like they tune into their own lives just to see what's going on.
Yeah, and it isn't. It's almost like you know, like back in the day when people used to tune into like Coronation Street and EastEnders and Emmerdale. I feel like now there's little TikTok shows that I watch, and they like update it and have a new like episode out every day, and I'm like, oh, my show's on.
Like, I've got to watch my show. And that's the same, right? Before with Coronation Street and soaps, you were having a glimpse into fake characters' lives and there were storylines. But now it's like, it's just more of a reality TV angle, real people, what are they going up to? Like,
but actual reality TV, like, not kind of like, I don't know, back in the days when Katie Price had her reality TV show,
or like
and it
Big
was
Brother
like,
or something like that.
And it was like reality TV, but not really reality.
Like, these are people literally just waking up in the morning, talking to a camera about what happened to the day, and then like rinsing and repeating. And I think like it's a lot to break through that barrier to try and, because some people, it's scary to do that, right? You've got to expose yourself, put yourself out there. But I think there is a lot of benefits for doing that about your business and doing about yourself as well, because it gives people a glimpse into what they're up to. Like even today, I had major plans today, actually. I haven't even told you about this, but I was going to do a vlog. I was going to vlog, come in here, setting up, doing it, and then being like, oh, you know, this is me telling my story. This is the storytelling. But I got too busy. I made too many excuses for myself and I didn't end up doing it. But it's like, I'm going to try again and do it again at another point. And it's about, even though you just got to keep on trying and break through to tell your story, find different ways of doing it, until you find the right one for you, really, isn't it? The right medium.
It is discipline. Like, we're playing around on TikTok at the moment. So a couple of weeks ago, I found out I had a charity place in the London Marathon.
Awesome.
And yeah, awesome. TikTok influenced me to say that.
Do you do much running at the moment?
I'm more of a gym girl, but I'm
Okay.
trying to get more into running, and obviously now I have to get into running. 'Cause
Yeah,
I
you're
said
forced to now. That's it.
And like myself and Holly, so who's with me today actually behind the camera, we've been kind of like playing around with my TikTok, and it's like, what videos can we create? Because like we are being asked about it more from a B2B perspective. We're kind of one of those where it's like, we're not going to sell you something if we don't actually know how it works. So we're kind of using this, like me running the marathon, as like a little trial thing where we can do that. You, like I've said to you before, I hate being on video. And I'm like having to now hold the bloody camera up because like apparently that's what's trending, and go like this at the thing,
like,
because
ooh,
like
yeah, I know exactly what you
kilometre
mean.
2.
I can picture it already
I
happening.
go so red as well though when I'm exercising, and like my breathing isn't great. I think I've got like undiagnosed asthma or something, so I'm like
Get all your shots in the first like kilometre, and then just like
Fresh-faced.
and then just bash it out for the rest of it, and then like get some shots at the end, and then that you'll be sound then. Get everything done right at the start. That's what I'd do.
why are your 10 kilometres all in front of the same field?
Yeah, like how long was she at that tree for? I was thinking about this exact same thing, you know, because I went out for, I've been trying to get back into it over the past few weeks. Been doing 5Ks at like lunchtime and stuff. And then I had a meeting, and I have a mirror like right next to my desk where I have a meeting. Had a shower, got ready for the meeting, right. Caught myself in the mirror. I'm so red, like I'm sunburned. I'm overexhausted. I'm like, he's gonna think I'm like a tomato, just like talking to this guy. But yeah, that made me think: how do running influencers and exercise influencers still maintain their image throughout the whole entire thing? It's
I
crazy.
don't know actually, but apparently there's things now where you can like fake your pace and like pay people who are really fast to like log into
No
your Strava
way,
and like
no.
or, like wear your Apple Watch. So people are even growth hacking running.
That's crazy. That's ruined everything for me.
It's all a lie.
You can go on Fiverr and pay someone to run around the block or something like that, probably.
If you see my Strava at the London Marathon, it's like finished in 2.5 hours. So I paid someone
Like,
on
no
Fiverr
sweat.
to do it.
That's wild. I never even thought of that, but that's so true. I bet people do that. Like ghost runners. Almost.
Yeah, ghost runners.
Literally ghost runners. That's crazy. So, what is the plan for the future at Big Reputations?
Oh, so we've just taken on a new graphic designer, so we're now a team of 4. We're kind of capped out in our current office, and we'd love our next one to just have a bit more space, so we could have like a full-time studio set up,
Awesome.
grow the team out, win more client work, I guess, within our chosen industries that we actually really enjoy working with and know a lot about. So construction, manufacturing, professional services, any of those, like we have already quite a lot of experience working with firms in those areas that we can kind of bring to the table. So yeah, I'd just say growth really, but like growth in the right way. So like people who actually appreciate marketing, who are gonna take our advice on board and like are gonna be like, just as much as they look forward to their marketing team arriving, we look forward to going to them. Because I think that's where the magic happens, when you care just as much about other people's businesses as they do. Like, you feel really, like, motivated to try and grow it even more.
Definitely. I think it's so important as a creative to work in marketing. You got to have that passion behind it, because otherwise you're not going to produce work you're happy with, and you're not going to produce the best work you can do. But also, you can't do that if you're not having a good time. If there's friction there, if they don't like you being there, if you don't like being there, how can this relationship even work? Do you know what I mean? Like, so I definitely think that's so important when it comes to growth. Definitely.
So yeah, to answer the question, simply just like growth, but like with the right people in the right industries that we're lucky. Like, we're only 2 years in, and we've found almost like the types of work that we love doing, and like, I guess in a niche that we genuinely really enjoy and know a lot about already, is quite a privileged place to be in.
Ask the expert, it's your
basically, what I'm going down to is that we're at that section of the podcast where we're going to play Ask the Expert. Basically, it's a really simple game, just to tie things off. I've got 40 questions, 20 questions each, and we have to answer as many as we can in a minute. So I'll ask you the questions first. We'll see how many you get right, and then I'll answer a different set of questions about the same topic. So your chosen topic was women with big reputation.
Okay.
Now,
you chose this topic for me.
I chose this topic for her, to be fair, and it is powered by AI, and by that I mean it's been put into AI. I've copied and pasted without looking at the questions, and we're just going to do it live.
3, 2, 1.
Who was the first female Prime Minister of the UK?
Margaret Thatcher.
Who played Wonder Woman in 2017 film?
Gal Gadot.
Yeah. Who's the most decorated female gymnast of all time?
Pass.
Which pop star is known as Queen of Pop?
Queen of Pop. Oh, Madonna.
Which Egyptian queen was last active ruler of the...
Cleopatra.
Yeah. Who sang the hit single Put a Ring on It?
Beyonce.
Oh, single ladies. Who was the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean?
Amelia Earhart.
Who starred as Ellie Wood's Legally Blonde?
Reese Witherspoon.
Which tennis player has won 23 Grand Slam titles Which tennis player has won 23 Grand Slam titles, the most in the Open
It was
era?
one of the Williams, wasn't it? Was it Serena or Venus?
Yeah, it's Serena, I'll give you that one.
Thank you.
Who was the first female winner of the Best Director? Who was the first female of the Best Director Oscar in 2010?
I could pass that one.
I'll give you, to be fair, you did really well, and I was butchering up some of those questions, but I would have not got any of them. I think you got, so, first female Prime Minister, Margaret Thatcher, you got that one right. Wonder Woman, you got that one right. I didn't know who that was. First gymnast, you got right. Madonna, that was right as well. Cleopatra, so that's first 5. Then Beyonce, 6. And Amelia Earhart, flying solo, 7. 8, Legally Blonde. 9. You got them all right, right? I don't think you could get one wrong.
I think I passed 1 or 2, maybe.
Which one did you pass?
I passed the gymnast one.
Oh, I thought you got that one right.
No, I passed that one.
Okay. Well,
I'm too honest for my own good.
it will be edited on screen, the score that she got. But I think you got 8, probably 8 then. We'll go with 8.
Okay, I'll take that.
Okay. Now you're going to watch me fail miserably. So.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Who was the first woman to win a Nobel Prize?
Pass.
Which British actress is known for playing the Queen in The Crown?
Pass.
Who was the first woman to climb Mount Everest?
Oh, I have no idea. Pass.
Who was the first woman inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Rock and roll. Dolly Parton.
Which Pakistani activist won the Nobel Peace Prize at age 17 for her work on girls' education?
Was it? It was the lady that was shot, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't remember her name.
Malala.
Oh.
You can. I'll give you that one.
Half a point.
Who played Princess Leia in the Star Wars films?
Oh my god! It was. I want to say Cara, something. Not Cara. It begins with C or an S, maybe.
Begins with a C.
Pass.
Okay. Who won BBC Sports Personality of the Year in 2022, becoming the first female footballer to do so?
I have no idea.
Beth Mead.
Well, I think we all know who did win there without even looking at the scores. Thank you very much.
If anyone needs an extra on their pub quiz night team, just give me a shout.
You actually did really well. Like, I don't think I would have got many of these, to be honest. I'm just not a pub quiz goer. If it's like
Neither am I, to be honest. Like, I'm just like very, like, if it's been on the news or like it's something to do with pop culture, I'm genuinely quite good at them.
Like, if it's about TikTok or YouTube, I'm normally pretty good at. History, I'm alright. General knowledge, no, it falls apart. And celebrities, I'm just bad with celebrities, I think, more than anything. Apart from, like, the really niche ones that literally nobody else knows about. But thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate you telling us your story, the story of your business as well, and also giving us a few tips and tricks of how to tell our own stories, really, and get involved with that. Is there anything out there that you want to put out there to the world, to the audience, before we sign off?
Oh, God. I wasn't expecting that.
Can be as big as small as you like.
Oh, wow. I wasn't expecting that question.
You can
Build-
take a moment to think about it. I can cut this out. It's all good.
I'm going to go with build a reputation, not a personal brand.
I love that. That is like to the point, exactly what we've been speaking about, and it's on brand as well, which is amazing.
Thanks, Dan. I've enjoyed this.
No, me too. Thanks so much for coming on. And as always, all of our information is going to be in the episode description below. Add us on LinkedIn. We'll love to take the conversation there if there's any questions. And I look forward to seeing you all next time in the next episode. Thanks for watching. See you later.
Bye.
Awesome. Thanks so much for that. I think we
Thank
got
you.
there. That was perfect. I did so bad at those questions. Like, I literally...